So one of the key limitation factor for Cloud Code or any coding agent is the context management. If you use coding agent enough, what you often notice is that agent just seem to become dumper as it works longer and more complex tasks. It will make same mistake and also forget about some stuff that it tried before. If fundamentally it is limited by the context window of language model. Even though modern model can take around 1 million token, the actual effective context window is somewhere between 120 to 200K. That's where all the coding agent today is designing this conversation compacting mechanism around those optimal context window limitations. But ideally, you want agent to be able to remember every single trace it did before. And even though Cloud Code introduced this memory feature recently, where agent can log information into its shared memory file of the project, but fundamentally, the way it works is still somewhat limited. It is basically keeping a separate memory.md file for every single project. So if your project is actually pretty complicated, this document can blow up very quickly as well. And also, this is very specific to Cloud Code. In an ideal world, we want those knowledge and memories shared across any possible agent sessions, no matter which agent it is accessed to. And only by doing that, your team's knowledge is actually accumulating and agent is getting better the more you use it. But this is a hard problem. Many teams attempt to solve this, but haven't got an ideal solution yet. I found this project called oneContext that is released this week, where they are utilizing this method called Git Context Control. That is defining a specific memory framework that is extremely simple and basic, so the agent is managing the context just like Git. And this memory is persist across any session and any coding agent. It can even be shared with your OpenCloud as a memory file where you can chat to in Slack or Telegram. And with this method, they found Cloud Code is performing 13% better on software engineer tasks, and even enable some cheaper and smaller model like GRM 4.5 Air to perform at similar level as frontier models. And the most interesting part is that this setup is extremely simple and basic, something you can literally set up now. And this is what I want to share today. I will take you through how does oneContext actually work, the idea and methodology behind it, and how you can start using it. But before I dive into that, I know many of you are first-time vibe coder, and when you're just getting started, I know things can be pretty hard. And the best way to learn is by doing and practicing real projects. That's why I want to introduce you to this awesome free resource from The Hustle, where they did a whole bunch of research and come up with 20 AI app ideas you can start building and practicing. They did a whole bunch of research on Reddit and Twitter to find real pain points that people have been asking. And specifically, those ideas are easy to start and execute. Something you can just spend a weekend to build, deploy, and launch to the market. And for each idea, it also gives you step-by-step breakdown and prompts for generating prompt specs to get Cloud Code or Cursor to start implementing. Through which give you a good sense about how to write good prompt and specs for coding agents. And they even give you some ideas about what you should do to start generating your first revenue. And those app ideas are across both consumer and business facing. They even link to a big database of all side hustle that you can start practicing. So if you're looking to actually shipping something real and honing your AI coding capabilities with Cloud Code or Cursor, I highly recommend you go check out this resource. I put the link in the description below for you to download for free. And thanks HubSpot for sponsoring this content. Now let's get back how does oneContext works. So at its core, the Git Context Controller is a basically defined rules or skill that agent can follow to maintain a list of memory file that is saving all the actions and learnings agent had at different level. It has these 4 main files. One is main.md, which is storing the global context of the project that you are executing. Then they also introduce this branch idea to log different approach, paths, and tasks that agent is ever worked on. And for each task and branch, it has these 3 files. One is commit.md. That is high-level milestones that agent has hit. Like after every time it finished a subtask or deliver a meaningful piece of work, it will log the commit.md file, just like how we normally do git commit. And then the log.md is where it will store the full row conversation history. This is what they refer to OTA, observation stored actions. And if you're using Cloud Code or Codex, it's basically the row conversation messages, as well as metadata.yaml that is storing the metadata of the project. Then again, give high-level information for agent to find specific piece of knowledge. So this structure provides foundations of how the memory is stored for particularly long-running tasks. And they have 4 different actions that agent can take. One is branch. This should be triggered when agent decide to explore an alternative strategy. And second is commit. This is what agents do when they hit certain milestones or complete certain subtasks. And merge. This will be triggered when agent completes certain task or exploration and want to merge this history of exploration to a certain branch. And this is quite important because for complex long-running tasks, This branch, commit, merge methods allow agent to fork conversation very easily without losing the overall context. And this might be a bit abstract. Let's take you through an actual example. So you might have this task for agent to build a web scraper for LinkedIn. And with this method, agent will firstly try to set up a main.md that's logging the global roadmap. It can be just a folder in your repo. Then it will start deciding a method or approach. Like it might decide to build a playwright script first as a direction. This where it will create a branch playwright. And what does this branch action actually means is just creating a folder called playwright under the branch folder and start initialize commit.md file, log.md file, which should automatically retrieve and save all the conversation history and then the metadata. So it set up a foundation about how do we track memory and knowledge of this specific playwright script-based approach. And as the agent works along this approach, it might hit some milestones like got a V1 script finished and tested. And that's where it will commit memory. And what this commit action does is basically instruct agent to update commit.md file to log a summary of what it did, and also has the option to revise the main.md file. And the benefit of this is that you basically start having this log and source of truth of actions that agent is taking. And after finish, it can run this merge command. And what this merge command do is that it will try to merge the commit.md file into the main one and combine the log.md file, as well as update the main.md file to provide a high-level summary. So this is like a basic flow of how agents should maintain memory in this structure, and it can be much more complicated and flexible. For example, agent might find this approach of playwright script is not correct. Instead, it should use API instead. Then it can create a branch for API exploration and maintain all the learnings around that approach in that specific branch folder. And the interesting part is that once we set up the file structure like that, agent is also able to retrieve information progressively. If later we ask it, hey, help me understand where we are at in terms of this LinkedIn scraper project, it can firstly look at the main.md file to understand the overall project scope and what kind of exploration it has been done. And if it decides to dive deeper, it can fetch the specific branch information, looking at the commit file to see for the playwright approach, what are all the different commits and milestones we ever hit. And if there's anything interesting, it can also dive into the raw conversation history of a specific commit by looking at the log.md file. So this is a whole setup. It's basically this 4 commands plus a file structure that is maintaining agents' learning and allow Cloud Code to achieve a 14% more performance by just logging and feeding relevant actions that agent is taking along the way. And just later this week, let's also introduce this context repositories feature, which is a very similar concept of what we just talked about here, except it is maintaining a different structure of memory. But the overall approach is very similar, using file system to create multiple different levels of information. So any coding agent can access memory and information progressively. And the most interesting thing is that it works across any sessions and any coding agent. That means for any project, we can spin up multiple different agents working on different things, and they all share the same context and memory in real time about what the other is doing, so that they can make decisions better. And the author of Git Context Controller basically introduced this tool called oneContext that's encapsulating the overall methods that he just showed in the paper into a command line tool that they can run here and share context across different agent sessions. And this is what I want to show you how it works. And meanwhile, if you're interested in agent memory and context management, we have a few workshops in AI Builder Club where we share practical tips and learnings of how to best set up your coding agent memory MD file, as well as tricks for building production agents, alongside step-by-step tutorial for how to set things up. So if you're interested, you can click on the link below to join. Now let's set up oneContext together. So firstly, you do npm i-g onecontext-ai. This will install oneContext on your computer. Then you simply run oneContext. This will open up view like this, which will give you a split view. On the left is agent session, and on the right side is the actual agent. So the first thing you will do is that you will want to add context. So for context, you can consider as a kind of group of information that you can share with others later. So I can click add context. And here I can give a name, and it could be anything, to be honest. Each context is considered as a group memory. Later, they will allow you to share this group of memory with others. But the easiest way could be for each project, you can set up one memory. So let's say I will call it a demo project. And then we can start adding a new session to this context. So I can select the coding agent. It can be cloud or codex. And then I can choose the workspace, click create. Now here it opens a new session on the right side. So if I ask it information like, what's my name? It wouldn't know this information, But you can see here after finish, it is showing that it's running this stop hook. And on the left side, you will see this session already generate a quick summary called username, inquiry, and identification. And if I hover this context, already have some high-level summary. And now let's test again. In here, I'll tell it, my name is Jason. Okay, so the name has been remembered, even though here it ran in memory, which is using Cloud Code's own memory, and we don't want that, so I'm going to tell it, remove that from memory. We don't need it. Okay, so now we're making sure it is not part of memory. And just to double confirm that, I'm going to open .cloud folder, and I can see in that specific project folder, the memory is empty. And now I can create a new session. And this time, I will even try something new. I'm going to add a new folder called new oneContext demo. And I will ask it, what is my name using oneContext? And you can see it start running command line align search. Align is a company behind oneContext, and it is basically doing the search in memory and return back information. My name is Jason. So you can see it is totally across different folders, but it is still able to share the same information. And what's really cool about this one, you can imagine, is you can use the same mechanism in getting agent explore totally different directions, but still share the same memory about what's going on. And to understand how this information actually is saved, if you're using oneContext, you can do code.align, which will open this folder. It has this skill file, which including the context for agent about how to use it. And it has very specific context here that it will firstly do a board search to search a specific query within that context folder. But then they can also narrow down scope by passing -s, which is a specific session information or a specific term. And if they really want, it can also dive deeper to do search on a specific term to look into the actual conversation of a specific session. And all that knowledge is saved locally on your DB folder here called align.db. But it's basically replicating your actual Cloud Code conversation history as well as a summary information. And the way it works is that every time you add a new session here, this session will be logged and captured by a watcher service, and it automatically has a stop hook. The stop hook will run to save that new conversation information into the DB here, as well as triggering a large language model call, which default is using GPT-4o mini to generate a summary of the information. And to just demonstrate a real-world use case, let me add a new context to be memory research. And here I can set up 2 sessions and open another session with Codex. And I'm going to ask it to research about different memory setups. So here I'll ask it, help me investigate and learn how does OpenClaw memory mechanism work. And while it is working, for the Cloud Code session, I'm going to ask, help me research and investigate how does Lattice context repositories work. And I might add another session here to say, help me research how does oneContext memory mechanism works. Okay, so now each session finishes research, one for the oneContext memory mechanism, one for Lattice context repository, and another is for the OpenClaw memory setup. Now let me add a new session. And now I'm going to tell it reminds me how different agent memory setup works across OpenClaw, Lattice, oneContext from our past exploration. Don't use the internet, just from our own memory. And give me a breakdown of pros and cons. Now you can see what happened is that it will first search for relevant sessions. First, they try to search the memory, which will return a list of relevant sessions within the project. And each session basically means the title and the description that we have here. Then you start looking deeper each session and each turn. In the end, it returns me each message and its pros and cons. And in the end, a summary comparison. Even though it does seem to make some mistakes, the OpenClaw somehow it says .claw/project/memory, which is not exactly true. Let me check if it's because we researched wrong thing. Oh no. Okay, looks like there's something wrong about retrieval, probably because Cloud Code also has its own memory, but I'm sure this can be improved. What's really cool is that you can see this very effective way for agent to retrieve that and look at what has been done collectively, not just one session, but across all the sessions. And if you have teams works together, this became a really good tool since all of you can contribute to the same knowledge graph. And they actually have this share button as well. So I can click on that. It will ask me to confirm. But once confirmed, it will return me a link, which I can copy the link. This basically creates this URL where people can talk to. This is like simple chatbot, but loaded with the conversation context that we had here. So I can ask here, how does Lattice context memory works? It will do the same thing, search across different sessions and retrieve information. And then it will return back this summary learning, which looks correct. Obviously, it's like whole interface is very bad, but it helps you understand how this memory system works. But the core thing you just need to remember here is that fundamentally, the way it works is a file system to store and summarize, abstract all the past actions, which you can easily set up and achieve your own skill for your cloud code and save their memory locally. And if you're interested, I can show you a setup I personally have next time. That's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.